I love kids. I had kids very young. I had my 2 kids very young. So now I got to decide, do I go to the military or get a job because I got the kids? So right away, my lifestyle, my mindset, total change. NFL, done. Military, don't want to do it. But I had to be a student of the game. Hey, we're back again with the Listen to Low show. You are listening to Low. And remember what I said, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Make sure you listen to Low, because you never know what you might miss, because Low do know. And when we talk about motivational quote today, we're going to talk about changing the stigma. There's a stigma about certain things in life. There's a stigma about us as people. There's a stigma about everyone in a different way they was raised. And there was a stigma about us back in where I'm from, the little town called Apopka. Where they're saying you're only going to play football or you're going to go to the military. You almost like you had a choice. And I was trying to figure out which direction I was going to go. But everyone wanted to go one direction, football, 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 football. But at the same time, we all knew that everyone not going to make it. Right? But we still had that dream that the NFL, to go to the NFL. But then again, it was like the NFL is a dream, but a college degree is reality. But then at the same time, if you didn't go to NFL, you didn't go to college, what was left? Military. That was the stigma. No one never talked about, okay, let's go to college anyway and just get a degree. Let's go to college and become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect, a professor in any type of studies in college. No one even talked about that in our neighborhood. All they talked about was being an athlete, being an athlete, being an athlete. They always talk about that stigma was, get out the hood, go play football. We're best with talent. Right. Well, there's more than football talent or talent as an athlete. There's a lot of other talents out there. There's a lot of other black athletes came out of the low-income area and became very, very successful. I gave you the story of Maurice Allen, right, from Pine Hills, where he came out and became a 3-time world champion in the longest drive competition as a golfer. Whoever thought? And he got all type of degrees at the same time. He was a professional football player. He was an Olympian. He did it in a different way, right? We talked about Jimmy Pruitt. One of the other guys, Jimmy Pruitt, played football, but he put football down, becoming one of the lead pharmacists in the world, creating all type of different things that help different elders be more healthy and live a lot longer. There you go. So it ain't all about that football or that athlete mentality. It's a different stigma. But at the same time, I took that stigma by the horn once again, and I looked at how when I started doing sports, and I went down there to the little elementary school and seen everybody playing football, and I jumped in and wanted to play. And I realized that this is the answer too. Because when you get introduced to sports and you start being successful, you start doing good, you start thinking too, NFL, NFL, NFL. Well, hey, it ain't easy to get to the NFL. I never forget when I was going to play Pop 1 of football in the Popka, and they put me right at quarterback because I was fast. I guess I can throw a little bit. And the guy came back about a month later and said, hey, you got to pay your registration fee. I said, how much is it? He said, $25. No problem. Went home, told my mom, $25, pay for Pop 1 football. And she said, I don't have it. Right then, I'm like, oh, man, I'm not going to go to the NFL. Because I got to play Pop 1 or to get there, I got to learn the game. Guess what? Didn't play Pop 1 of football. I mean, I was hoping that coach would pay for me, but they ain't paid for everybody. Some people had to pay. Well, I wasn't one of the ones they paid for. So I had to actually wait till I got in the 8th grade before I can play tackle football. 8th grade before I played tackle football at Apopka Junior High School. I didn't know really nothing about the game besides catch a ball and run. I didn't understand the ins and the outs of tackle football. I knew I wanted to play. I knew I had that dream to go to the NFL. I knew it like everyone else had. And I felt like if I didn't make an NFL, how I was going to make it. I didn't know what to do. So I went out there, played football, and it was interesting enough that the coach didn't really like me at that time. I mean, it was a lot of guys that had been playing for years and years and years. I wanted to play wide receiver. I wanted to still catch footballs, and I wanted to catch touchdowns. I wanted the glory. And he looked at me and said, well, guys already can catch the ball. And he said, maybe go play linebacker. So I'm like, okay. So I go on the side and get ready to play linebacker. Don't know what I'm doing. All I did know that I was going to hit somebody. And sure enough, the first practice, I came down here, bam, big hit. Next practice, another big hit. And the guy looked at me and said, man, you like to mash people, don't you? I said, yeah, I guess I like to hit. He said, well, I'm going to show you how it works, and then, we'll go from there. I said, all right then. So sure enough, I started playing linebacker, and we lined up in the first game, I never forget, and we lined up in a big running back coming through the hole. I came down here, I hit him, I smacked him, and next thing you know, they looked at me, and they gave me a nickname. My nickname was The Masher. So now I'm thinking I'm going to take that wrong with it now, because I think I'm finna play linebacker, right? I'm finna go and just hit somebody all the time, but that wasn't the game all the way. It's bigger than just hitting somebody. It was bigger than just, just going and tackling. You had to know the game. You had to learn the game. So you had to become a student to the game. There it is. So I was like, how can I become better? How can I get to the next level? I'm in the 8th grade, playing a position I never played before. First time playing tackle football. Don't know what to expect. The success came kind of fast because I was okay with hitting and running. I had to be the student to the game, so what I do, start watching. Every time the coach talked to the other linebacker, I'm listening. I'm learning. I went back home and wrote things down. I watched. When we play against another team, I'm watching them. When they're going against our offense, when I wasn't in the game, I'm watching. Okay, that's what they do. Oh, that's how he go downhill. I learned the game by just watching and just paying attention. I knew if you want to get something and get far in life, you got to be a student to the game. You got to be willing to pay attention. And taking that there, applied to me in life. I watched what others was doing in life. I watched what the millionaires was doing. I'm watching what the successful gentleman was doing. I never forget when I started working at Westgate Resort, and I'm looking at the top writer, and he was good. And he got up there in front of us and did a morning meeting and said, I wear a Rolex for every day of the week. I got a different Gucci belt for every day of the week. He said, I drive a Ferrari. He said, I wear a different pair of Stacey Adams every day of the week. And I'm looking at him like, I want to be like him. Let me watch what he's doing. So every morning I came to work, when he sat at a table, I sat next to the table. When he got up and went to another table, I moved to the next table. He got up and went to another table, I went to the next table. He came to me and asked me, say, why you keep following me? I said, I want to learn. If you're going to wear all that, I want to wear all that. So it was taken just from being a student to the game, trying to get somewhere in junior high school. It helped me along my journey when I started working at Westgate Resort and start being a salesman. And that's what helped me right then become one of the top writers in the country when all said and done. I just want to make sure everyone recognizes that what are you doing when you are younger will follow you when you get older. But at the same time, it's not easy because it ain't just football. It ain't just being an athlete. You also still have to be a student. I never forget when we went to high school, there was only 4 guys that were able to play on varsity. Back then they had 9th grade when they had 9th grade were actually in high school, in junior high school, but we went to high school with 10th, 11th, 12th grade. But there was only 4 guys able to make it on a high school team. 4 guys. And all of us was pretty good. But then once we got to high school, we realized that I'm young compared to these guys as seniors. And I'm sitting there listening like, how am I going to get on the field with all the older guys? What am I going to do? How am I going to take all that success I had in junior high school, move it to high school, and get on the field with these seniors, these 18-year-old guys? I'm 14 years old trying to make it happen. Well, it wasn't easy. I never forget when we lined up and the coach put me at wide receiver, and I really understand how to do any of the runs where they wanted. Then they said, well, go play defensive back. I go defensive back, and I'm like the 6'7" defensive back, didn't get in the game. And I remember one of my boys, Wallace, was down there playing on junior high JV team, and he out there running touchdown every game. So I never forget the next day, the coach looking for me, and they said, where's Wood at? We call me Wood. Where Wood at? Wood down there with JV. I told the coach, if he gonna be out there scoring touchdown, I want to score some touchdown. I want to be successful. Right then, I'm doing something totally wrong. Why would I go down to a lower level just to get the glory when I could stay on a higher level to get the experience? Marinate on that for a moment. Coach said, no, get back up here. Come up here and learn the game. They moved me back to wide receiver. The coach came to me and said, I'm going to teach you what we call the route tree, the old school. How to run routes from 0 to 9. I paid attention. I watch it and watch it. Then I watch the other guys in front of me. I'm still watching. Remember, I'm thinking about it being a student to the game. I'm watching it. And sure enough, I went home, wrote down the route tree, master it. Came back the next week, my time. Here I am now, with the youngest guys on the team. We're basically what we call sophomore, but they were freshmen. We line up. The coach put me in the game, put me as a slot receiver. And instantly, I catch my first pass against Oak Ridge, catch another pass. Now I'm caught 4 or 5 passes in the game. I know the routes. I know what I'm doing. Why? Because I was student to the game. I knew what I was supposed to do. I learned. I follow it. And that right there helped me believe in my journey, believe in my dream, again, to go to the NFL. That was it right there. There were life lessons. Right there alone. And then that just wasn't, in just one sport, because one thing I tell you about coming from a little town like Apopka, there was not much to do when you got home. So, it's like sometimes for me, I didn't even want to go home sometime, because what I was going to do, go in the house, do nothing. The lights turn off at 6 at night. You got to be in the house at 6. So I'm trying to, how can I stay out later? What am I going to do? So, hey, that's what I did. I just started playing more sports. Next thing you know, I'm running track. I'm doing weightlifting. I'm doing wrestling. Here's what's crazy. All my years in high school, I never, ever, after football season, when I started running track in high school, I never caught this yellow bus home. We call it the yellow bus, AKA the 40-seater. We never catch the bus home. Catching the yellow bus home was for the ones that didn't do sports, that didn't have a dream probably to go to NFL, or probably didn't have a dream to do nothing in sports. Them the ones that went home on the bus. We never went home on the bus. I mean, I can't remember getting on the bus at all once I got into high school. We always caught a ride with the coach. And that was that coach relationship that I had. And I never forget when one day we're coming home, and the coach asked me, you want something to eat? I'm like, my eyes lit up. I said, you better believe it. He said, where you want to go? The number one place everybody want to go, McDonald's. So he take me to McDonald's. I get in there, that when Big Macs was $1. Fries, Big Mac. Get you back then we had a Coke, Pepsi, whatever it was, we had a nice meal. And I was saying to myself, wait a minute, if I do sports and do well, the coach give me a ride home and you're going to take me to McDonald's. That means I was being rewarded. I knew then there was no rewards on the bench. I already knew right then. All I had to do is do my part. I'm going to get rewarded in some shape, form, or fashion. Because at home, we ate, but it wasn't no McDonald's. There wasn't no French fries. It always like my kids always to tell me like, oh, Dad, there's nothing here to eat. No, it just ain't nothing that you want to eat in here. That's all that was. And sure enough, that was the case for us. I mean, we had to eat what we had to eat, but if I can get me a Big Mac for doing great, or running track, or doing wrestling, or weightlifting, and I'm winning, or I'm doing great, that's what I'm gonna do. So I made it my duty to stay at school all year long, even in the summertime and summer workout. Let me get my butt to the school. Let me get up here and just make sure that I'm gonna be good and I'm gonna have my chance to go to the NFL, or have my chance to go to college. Because if I didn't, I already knew I got to go to the Army. And I ain't want to go to the Army. They're keeping it real. I wanted to make sure that I go play like everyone else had the same dream. And we want that dream to come true. But it ain't just the sports side of it. I sitting there thinking about how easy it was to get sidetracked. How easy it was to make the wrong choice and wrong decisions. I remember my 11th grade year, I had a pretty good junior year. And all the time, here come the college scouts coming in. They're coming in. I never forget David Scott on the University of Miami Hurricanes walked in. Said, we're here to see Low Wood. They pulled me out. I said, whoa. Next thing you know, here come South Carolina. They're going to see Low Wood. I said, okay. Then all of a sudden, they put me on the list. I'm doing well. I think that junior year I had 38 catches out of 39 that year. I never forget when I got tickets in the mail to come to the game, the Miami Hurricane game. I go to my mama, she said, that ain't happening. I got no gas and no car to drive you to Miami. So I'm not going. Here I am, got a chance to go to Miami Hurricane. We can't go because why? Mom can't take us down there. I don't think we know how to get to Miami. Never even heard of a turnpike. The only thing we heard was a Park Avenue or the back road. How you going to go to Orlando? We use the back road. How we going to Plymouth? Boy Scout Road. How you going to McDonough? Park Avenue. We knew like 3 roads. Forest City Road. Maybe 4 roads we knew. No way ain't nobody going down to Miami. Had the opportunity to go to Miami. Couldn't go until all of a sudden one of my friends say, well, now here's interesting now. I don't have a car. Well, my boys had a car. Tar had a car. I'm like, hey, we'll take you to, I go to Miami with you. My family from Hollywood. So we get up that morning. I'm in a car with another student, drive to Miami. Mama don't even know I'm going. She working. We driving down to Miami, pull up, come inside. David Scott waiting on us. We sit us down, and they say, here, y'all go ahead and grab something to eat. And I'm sitting there like saying, this is it. Boy, I'm finna go to the NFL. I'm going to Miami Hurricane. They fed me a steak and a potato. I'm like, here it is. I'm eating a steak now. Now I'm eating steaks. I'm eating potatoes. I'm ready to go. And then line up to go sit down, watch the Miami Hurricane game. They're playing against BYU. You know, the wide receiver Johnson there. Now I'm really got the aspiration. I'm looking like, oh, I'm gonna be just like him. I'm gonna be just like him. That's all I knew. I want to be like a football player. I want to be a football player. And that was the only stigma that was there. But came back home, enjoyed the opportunity. Everything was good. I'm going to Miami Hurricane. Next thing you know, the coach called and say, well, we checked your grades. You're not going to Miami Hurricanes. I'm like, why? I got all A's and B's. So yeah, you got all A's and B's, but all your A's is in carpenter. I said, what do you mean? He say, yeah, you decide to leave the high. Here's how it tell you how blessed these kids got it nowadays versus back then. I thought if I just go to regular school half the day and go to the West Side Votech half the day, I get all my grades because they said my GPA was low. So I got 4 A's over there, and I got an English and a math, and I had like 2 B's. So I'm killing it. I'm 3 points on GPA. Then was electives. That didn't work. Now here it is. I got a low GPA. So now I got to have a higher test score. Then I realized I haven't taken the test because nobody told me to take the test. No guidance counselor. Where's she at? Coach didn't tell us. The coach didn't tell us to take no test. By the time Miami Hurricane come in, now the coach saying, hey, you got to go take your test, so you can get a higher score to go to Miami Hurricanes. Yeah, right. And you telling me a guy that only took English and math, didn't take no other class, taking carpenter, didn't understand how to take the test, no tutoring, no help, no nothing. Now they got everything for you nowadays. They got all type of SAT prep, ACT prep, tutoring, online classes. You're on your own. Back then, sure enough, all said and done, it was time to sign. No signing for Miami Hurricane. No signing for South Carolina. Because no one didn't tell me. No one guided me. And if I knew that, I would have been a student to the game, and I would have went and found how to do the tutoring. Before the sign a date, well, guess what happened? I went to the guidance counselor, what I need to do. She said, here's what you need to do. She said, you need to set this up, retake this. She gave me all the avenue after the fact. I did it. Still a little too late, but I kept on going. Track season came in. Right now, I'm out here at track season without a track coach. The same year, no track coach. Interesting enough. So now I'm running track. I got all my boys that are running track with us. I'm now become the track coach. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm a track coach in high school, that means I'm probably gonna be a track coach when in life, or I'm gonna be some kind of coach in life. It goes back to you never know what you're gonna be because based on what you did back when you were younger. If you can remember what you did back in high school or when you were younger and look back where you're at now, you already was doing it. You already knew your purpose again right there. And sure enough, I'm at there now in the 12th grade running track, and I'm pretty much a track coach. And now here we get ready to go to the state championship. I lined up in the state championship, right? I'm winning the regional championship. I'm finna run the hurdles. I get done running the hurdles. Coach Cullison, he was there. He didn't know nothing about track. He was just being the coach because, like they say, back then your science teacher, your math teacher, what your coaches back then. We lined up. UCF said, hey, we like you. Oklahoma said, we like you. We're going to send you to some junior college. And then when you get done, come back and play for us. And sure enough, it happened. I ended up going northeast Oklahoma A&M, playing football, running track for called it NEO. Went up there, and I'm saying this, I still got a chance. I still had that dream. I still had that hope. I didn't have no other aspiration to do nothing else but to play football because I knew I didn't want to go to the Army. This journey that we're on, it's a journey that have no type of ending because it is still a dream. We have to change the stigma that we only can do a sport to be successful. And the reason I say that because I remember coming up to NEO. I remember going to the airport. My mom asked me, what's the plan? And I didn't know the plan. First time on the airplane. Matter of fact, it was so crazy. I forget. She had to stop me to make sure I give her a hug goodbye because I never left like that. That's interesting. So I get on the plane, right? I land in Oklahoma City. The coach come up, cowboy hat, cowboy boots, come looking for me. I'm scared. Like, who is this man? I ain't never seen a man walk around with cowboy boots and cowboy hat. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the expectation. He said, I'm Coach Hill. I'm going to take you down to Miami, Oklahoma. We drove 3.5 hours in the car, just me and him. We get there, it was a gate where you had to go to like a guarded gate. We go into a little city in Miami. It's spelled Miami. We call it Miami, right? Same spelling. We get there, get all set up. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. I got a chance. I got an opportunity by myself. First time ever leaving Florida like that. And now everybody started coming in, get ready to play football. And once again, no guidance. But I knew I had to make sure that I was a student to the game. I knew I had to be a student to the game. And what I did, remember what the coach said. Write it down, put it on paper, apply it. And that's what I did. Stayed in the film room, wrote it down, put it on paper, applied it. Now I'm trying to look out for me. But at the same time, when I lined up in a game, lined up at practice, I never forget when I was competing against some of the guys, and I realized that this ain't no normal junior college. They called this school Baby D1. There was guys there that was so good. I'm like, how did all us end up here? And I asked guys, why y'all end up here and not going to a big time school? We ran the 40. We had 4 guys ran a 4.2 hand time at a junior college. 4 guys. Look it up. Carr Kidd, 4.2. Tim Lewis, 4.2. Chris Hudson, 4.2. All the guys running 4.2 40s. And I'm sitting like, I ran a 4.4. And I was like, man, I thought I was the man. And then I realized I'm not the man. Only thing that helped me was being a student to the game. I knew how to run that route tree. I did that route tree when I was taught by Greg Thompson right there in Apopka. When I ran that route tree, I ran it so good, no one knew how to run the routes like that. It got to the point where we didn't have a wide receiver coach, junior college. My coach, he becoming a defensive back coach. I became the coach. There it is again. See, I'm thinking the NFL is my answer, but maybe coaching was my answer. Because I'm in college right now. Coach told me, show them how to run the routes like you run them. I'll never forget this guy named Chris Penn. He lined up, and his routes was not good at all. So I showed him how to run the routes. He became the #1 receiver at NEO. He got a full scholarship to Tulsa. Then got drafted by the San Diego Chargers. Me, got hurt, got an injury. NFL dreams, over. Done. Now you're back home. Now I got to decide what to do. Military or get a job? And if you remember what I said before, I love kids. I had kids very young. I had my 2 kids very young. So now I got to decide, do I go to military or get a job because I got the kids? So right away, my lifestyle, my mindset, totally changed. NFL, done. Military, don't want to do it. But I had to be a student of the game. I had to recognize that I have to prepare myself so I can become successful in other ways. If I didn't become successful, then my kids struggle. So I want people to just think about this here. The stigma was NFL and the Army, but why the stigma couldn't be a professional, a lawyer? Why couldn't it be a doctor? Why couldn't it be a real estate agent? Why can't it be a broker? All of them make money the same way. I had to recognize that quick and fast through hard work. So as soon as that, I instantly right there went to work. I did whatever it took to make sure that I was not going to go to the military. Now, I ain't saying that military is not the answer, or that it helps a lot of people, but it just wasn't for me because I want to break that stigma. I don't want to be like everyone else. I didn't want to go that route. And not going that route led me through a lot of different paths. Doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. Doing things that was the other stigma saying, well, most kids come on from college, what they do? They go to the street. More kids that don't go to the Army, what they do? Go to the street. Kids that don't make it in high school, go to the street. Everyone is the same stigma. And I want to get out of that. I want to make a change. And that's why I worked my butt off. That's why I realized that this wasn't the answer. This wasn't the way to go. Get out of it. Find a way out. Do what you got to do, right? And make sure you can take that and apply it and do something else and do something great. Because I didn't want the stigma for my kids to say go to NFL or be an athlete. I want my kids to go to college, period, and get a college degree. Or my kids just go where they still can be a professional. It's always people say, well, got to go to college. College ain't for everyone. I'm going to say it right now. College is not for everyone. So trying to follow that dream to go to NFL, if college ain't for you and you don't like school and you don't like to go to work, then that dream is done right there anyway. So let's not look at what everyone think you should do. Let's do what your purpose in life that God have for you to do. And I think my purpose right away was, once again, when that man asked me what I want to be in life, I said a businessman and a coach. I did not say an NFL player. I didn't say Olympian. I knew where I was going to be. Right then, in 18 years old, after I won the reading championship, I came back and won 4 catches, 4 touchdowns in a football game. I knew right then where I was going. From the childhood, selling candy, selling bottles, selling bottle tops, selling batteries, right, for the boom box. I knew right then that's where I was going to be. If you know your journey early, I'm telling you, you still can be just as successful as anyone else. I was talking to one of my friends and said, wait a minute, Lo, you got so many different streams of income. You're very successful. I don't have a college degree. College just went for me. I remember going to college and I went to class and they told me, I seen guys walking out. I walked out with them. I didn't know. I'm like, well, if they walking out, I'm gonna walk out. Hey. So it wasn't for me. It wasn't for with an injury and with not really want to go to school. It wasn't my destiny, to my opinion, but I knew I had a drive in me to still be successful. I knew it. And going through the different challenges and different obstacles is what helped me realize what my drive was, what my purpose was in life. And that was to be a businessman and a coach. So somebody got to coach you. Somebody got to run the company. Somebody got to start the business. And someone got to work. That's why they call it employer and employee. Coach, athlete. It's the same thing. A coach get paid, the employer get paid. The athlete get paid a scholarship or paid work or NFL. Guess what? Same with the employee. They work, they get paid. And either way it go. You know, there's more guys right now making more money than guys that play in the NFL. A lot of people don't know that. I guarantee you can line up 50 guys right now that play in the NFL and line up 50 guys that's right now that did not play in the NFL, do not have a college degree, and a lot of them make more money guys that play in the NFL. Maybe it's got the way they manage it, or they didn't make it to 3-4 years, right? Maybe they play 1 year, or what the case might be. So that go back to that stigma. All they thought about, all they knew was, I'm going to go to NFL. I'm going to NFL. That wasn't my path. That was not what God had for me. What he had for me was to be a businessman, to be a coach, to impact others all around the world. That's the path he had for me. And that worked. It actually worked because think about it. When I got home from college and I started working and I started coaching youth sports, that there was the best thing ever. The success was seeing others be successful, seeing others try to make their dream come true, but at the same time instill in them that it is a dream. Get that college degree. If not, then there's other ways to be successful. If we don't change the narrative, change that stigma that all we can do is just sports and go to military, a lot of kids are going to struggle. And then when I changed that, it kept me from struggling easily. I never forget, I was coaching track and field, and we was in Eugene, Oregon. And we won a lot of that championship. I mean, I'm talking about, we had guys like Embry Peoples winning 4 gold medals. We had Quincy McDuffie, who played at UCF. Embry Peoples at Georgia Tech. We had Ellis Martin, who played at UConn. We had Hall Clinton Dixon in Alabama, went first-round draft pick. We had KJ Dillon that went to West Virginia and ended up going to Houston, played for the Houston Texans. All of them are at Eugene, Oregon. First time on an airplane, right? I'm right there with me. That was my satisfaction. That was my satisfaction. I mean, keep in mind, I'm at home. I'm just working for a little company, driving a little truck, living within my means, trying to make ends meet, supporting the family. That's all I was doing, but someone recognized what I was doing. They seen my passion. They seen that I want to make sure that these kids get what they deserve, but also to make sure that I do everything I can to make their dream come true, but at the same time, make sure they get a scholarship and go to get a college degree. That was my goal. I didn't get it, but it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for me to help them get it. And then that's the key. And when somebody seen that in me and called me one day and said, hey, I got something for you. I got something for you. I said, what is that? He said, a job. I said, job doing what? He said, working at Westgate Resort. I said, what is that? He said, that's timeshare. I said, timeshare? What is that? We know what people buy to come stay here. And I said, all right, then I'll give it a try. And I get out here to Westgate Resort and realize it was a hidden gem. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Did we just change the stigma? Because why would I get there, there was only a couple of us, if you get what I mean. It wasn't that many of us out there. There's only a couple. Now, I'm losing my mind here, like, what is going on here? I'm looking at the parking lot, everybody driving BMWs and Mercedes-Benz. I'm looking at the parking lot, it's packed with people from all over the world. I'm looking at the parking lot, it's all different type of nationalities except the black nationality. It was very few. That coaching and my passion and my purpose is what got me rewarded with the opportunity of working at a multi-billion-dollar corporation. An opportunity for me becoming a licensed real estate agent. a real estate investor. See, all that falls back on what happened when you're young. So now I'm watching again. I'm paying attention to what's going on out there so I can grow and be successful in life, not just as a football player or not just going to the military. I was successful by becoming a professional entrepreneur. These are the things that we have to make sure we continue to help our youth, to make sure they understand they can be anything they can want to be. They can be, like I said, we were talking about the President of the United States. That man had a dream, and he became the President of the United States. What about guys who had a dream to go to be Olympian? Some made it, some did not. What about the one that coached the one to go to be Olympian? That's a whole nother story beside itself. That's a whole nother level of professionalism, whole nother level. We're talking to Maurice Allen. He was talking about how many CEOs out there and why no one ain't thinking of, let me go be a CEO. Or why we ain't have that mindset back then to be a CEO. Because it was a stigma. Change the stigma. Change the game. Change the way we're thinking. Do things totally different. And you can see the success will come if we change the game, change the stigma, change the mindset. That's why I changed the mindset of my own kids, to make sure they understand that if you want to be successful, you got to be a student of the game. If you want to be successful, you got to make sure that you wake up in the morning in the mindset, I'm the greatest. You wake up in the morning in the mindset that I can do anything that I want to do. And I just talking to a couple of my friends, and they were asking me, once again, like, why you do what you do. Like, why? Why you want to, be an entrepreneur? Why you want to be a coach? Why you want to be a personal trainer? They ask me why. They keep asking that question, why? I say, because that was my destiny. That was my purpose in life. I even go back to when I opened my first beauty salon and barbershop. Now, keep in mind now, you don't have to know how to cut hair or do hair in order to be the owner. You know how many businesses out there that people own that don't know nothing about the business itself or can't even do the business? When I opened my first beauty salon and barbershop, I was 20 years old. At 20 years old, I opened my first true business. It was like, everybody couldn't believe it because I had 13 stylists and barbers and nail techs. I was 20. I was the youngest. Everybody else in there was 20s, 30s, 40 years old. I'm a young entrepreneur, a young businessman, because I had that mindset. I had that mindset that I'm going to change the narrative. I'm going to change the game. I'm not going to be the one that only can make it if I do sports. I'm the one that can make it by being a professional, by being an entrepreneur. I'm going to change the game. And I changed that game because when I open one, now I open a second one. Then we'll open a third one. Then we'll open a fourth one. Now here it is, got businesses all over Central Florida. 20 y'all every year, keep opening businesses. And I'm like saying to myself, why no one else is doing this? Why no one else is opening a business like this? Now, why no one else? Why everybody feel like the only way out is through the sports world? That wasn't the way out. It got to the point where I knew that I need to continue educating others and continue doing what I'm doing so others can see what I'm doing. But it's so interesting about that. I was talking to a friend of mine. He was saying, how did you know how to open the business? You got no college degree. You didn't go to no class for it. What do you do? I remember driving down the road and I looked to my left and I seen a sign said public accountant. And I was like, what does that mean? Keep in mind now, if you don't know this stuff, But I knew it meant something. I said, an accountant, I'm thinking money. So I pull in and go inside, and I went into the lady. I said, hey, what is a public accountant? And she looked at me and she said, why you want to know that? I said, because I don't know, I got business, but I'm trying to open a business, but I'm trying to figure out, what to do. And she said, well, I can help you. I said, you can? She said, sure, come on in. I appreciate you coming in. And this lady, she said, the first thing you got to do, you got to get your corporation. I said, get a corporation? She said, yeah. I said, how much that cost? She said, $500. We'll set you up. We'll get you a corporation, get you started. Once you got a corporation, you can register you'll be registered with the state of Florida, right? Now you're a corporate, you're a corporation. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, I'm getting excited now. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm gonna be a corporate guy? She said, yeah, your own corporation, your own business. I'm gonna show you how it works. And she said, you can have secretary, you can have treasurer, you can have managers. I'm like, really? I said, okay. So now here it is, 21 years old, now about 21 now. I don't open my own corporation. Then she told me how to get what we call a DBA. I asked her, what do DBA mean? She said, doing business as. Like, whoa. So I'm getting educated right here. She educated me on how to start my own business, how to have a corporation, get DBAs, and set it up from there and become a businessman. All because I was a student to the game. I didn't let the stigma get me. Just ride down the road looking and being aware of my surroundings and recognize that name meant something. And wasn't afraid to walk in and ask questions. I told you before, like my grandmother said, closed mouths don't eat. Got to open your mouth, got to ask questions, but you have to listen with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Ask the question, get the answer, reply to it. Ask another question, get the answer, and apply to it. Next thing you know, you're a businessman. Now, where you go from there? What's next? Keep learning, keep earning, because the more you learn, the more you earn. It's that simple. The more you learn about business, the more you learn about even just life, the more you're going to earn in your business, more you're going to earn in life. And me now, here it is, years and years later, still businessman, still learning, still earning, still being rewarded, still impacting. And what even make it even more enticing, now I'm employing athletes, parents, my player parents. I'm giving them jobs now. I'm showing them how to become a hairstylist. I'm putting them in hairstyling schools. I'm putting them in barber schools. Now, it's just amazing. Amaze me how you can be a business owner and impact others by being a business owner, by impacting, by getting them a job and showing them ways. So if I was still had that mindset of just I only can be an NFL guy, I only can go to the military, I don't think I would be able to impact beyond the athlete I'm coaching or I'm training. Now I'm impacting moms, impacting dads, giving them the opportunity. It seemed like when I was doing the sales at Westgate, now when I become a manager, now I'm looking for others to come over and be impacted to learn this game, to become a licensed real estate agent. All that there still go back to the younger days when you had to step up and just be a coach, step up and just take control, take the bull by the horn and control it and run it and grind with it and move it. Listening to Low, because Listen to Low is a show that's gonna help you understand that you can be wherever you wanna be. You can strive to be where you want to be. You can move forward. All you got to do is just step out on faith. Make sure that everything you do it 110%. And take your game to the next level. Apply it. Be about it. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. All you got to do is understand that anything is possible in life. And that's why I make sure that I'm impacting everybody that come in touch with me, that's around me, that's beside me. Change the game, change the narrative, change the stigma. Guys, Once again, you are listening low on the Listen to Low show. Low knows. Low knows. Like us. Subscribe to us. Share it at Camp King 12. You're on Sweet Fire Production, and we'll see you guys next week.